That's 5 minutes. The time is currently 10 a.m. Recently, been thinking about this idea of kind of staying the course, and whether that be in terms of like idea execution of like a idea, or like idea execution of like an idea of your life. I mean, all the ideas, all the idea, but kind of like having this idea and staying the course to
Get to like the destination, like the place you want to go, whether it's executing the idea or how, as you said, I think how you want
like
your
life,
life
to be.
to look at. And I think I've come to learn and come to realize that with the limitations of the world, like having this idea and putting it out or trying to put it out, you go through this process where you have to like interact with the limitations of the world. But the more you interact with the limitations of the world, that almost kind of makes you become more of a person that could stick the course even more.
I think I think what I'm thinking is more so like with kind of interacting with the world, kind of refines the idea. It kind of refines the idea to, and some might even say the idea that kind of interacting with the world and executing this idea might be even better than the original idea, or might even take you to places that you never thought the original idea could take you. And I think the part of interacting with the limitations of the world is so important, because I feel like most people have an idea and they think they're, when they kind of execute this idea, should be one of one with the idea that they have in their head. But as you kind of interact with, but we live in the world and your ideas could be so expansive, your ideas could go anywhere because your mind could think of anything. But when it comes to like the real life on earth, kind of like manifestation of the idea is like the world has limits. Like you could think of a flying horse and it could look so beautiful and majestic in your mind, but in the real world, that a flying horse does not exist in a way that a flying horse would exist in your mind. And again, and that doesn't mean it can exist. But if you're interacting with the limitation of the world, then you're like, okay, maybe wings. Maybe in my head I thought wings, like actual wings growing out of the horse, but then maybe I could make a mechanical thing that could make it fly. So then that is kind of like mixing your idea with kind of like how the world works to like execute the idea. And sometimes it might not even be, and sometimes it might be timely. Sometimes you might start an idea, but the world isn't even ready for that idea. But through the process of kind of executing that idea, you kind of find the world changing. Or maybe the world, maybe it's not that the world wasn't ready. Maybe you weren't even ready to see the world, or to see the part of the world where this idea perfectly fits.
And that's what that's what I'm thinking, where it's kind of like, it's almost like the idea, I think I'm still thinking about this idea of like staying on the course. It's almost like this idea, and in that execution of the idea almost shapes you as the person to keep going on the journey. Like by you interacting with the limitations of the world and trying to bring your idea to life, you almost become this person that has more endurance to keep going. And you kind of see things while trying to execute these ideas and hitting the limitations of the world. You kind of see things in the world that almost gives you the confidence to keep going. But that's if you're looking.
Well, I think even more so than that, I think, to me, what I'm thinking is, as you are executing the idea, you kind of get this little kind of checkpoints on the road that kind of reassures you to keep chasing the idea, to keep kind of investing in the idea and keep putting into the idea to get to where you want to get to. It's never linear, it's never a one-of-one process, but as you're kind of putting into it, as you're,
I feel as you're more aligned with the idea and trying to get the idea to the truest form of it, I think it just like comes. I don't know.
I think it more so, it like reveals itself. So as much as the more you interact with the idea, the more you try to bring the idea to life, the more the idea itself kind of meets you halfway and reveals more of itself to you as you go along.
Yeah.
So I think really simple one today, just stay the course, and not even in an idea, even in life. Like I think you could have an idea for what you want your life to be, and on the process of kind of executing this idea, making this idea to come to life, it might not look one of one in your mind in the moment, but then the
Right.
more
You
you
go,
stay the course
yeah,
and the more you don't deviate from.
what you want, and like saying like, this is what I want, this is where I want to go. And again, I feel like that we could be talking about it like, oh, like an idea, but I guess for like most creative people, maybe it's kind of like a situation you are in your life, or it's like where you were, let's say where you were born, or where you like grew up, and like you have this idea, you have this path of being like, oh, like I grew up like this, but I want to be like this. And I think it's holding on to that idea, iterating that idea, trying to see how that idea relates with the real world, and just like holding on to it. I feel like another part of the process of getting this idea out and staying the course is holding on to the idea. I think the idea could flow. I think, I don't know how to put it. It's kind of like we should be able to be malleable and kind of like flow with how we're getting to the destination. But I think we should hold tight on the destination, because if we are not, if we are like, okay, we're going there, and then we go there and then we hit this limitation, and we're like, oh no, we're going there, and then oh no, we're going there. And it's like part of staying the course is sticking to one thing as well, like holding that and
Yeah,
being
I
like, yeah,
think
that's where
there's
we're
this
going.
saying that I've read somewhere, saw somewhere that really made sense to me, where it's like to be rigid with the destination, but be fluid, like flexible with the process. So the process, or flexible with the journey. So the journey through which you get to the destination, you're like learning, you're iterating, you're kind of going through different like iterations, but not to hold on to that. The way I find that people hold on to the journey, like they hold on, oh yeah, I want it to be
Oh, it
like
has
this,
to
like
be
this,
like
like this,
this,
like
yeah.
this. But it's like that shouldn't be what you hold on to. I think you should hold on to where you're going, but how you get there, you should kind of be interacting
yeah.
with life as you get there. So yeah, I think really simple one today. Stay the course, hold on to your idea, and it will happen.